backline versus. I mean, it's not amazing as a Drapion either, but okay. Well, throw one Fairy Wind and dip. They might swap though. Okay. All right, they have no respect for Lanturn, but who really is actually even running Lanturn, right? So I think that's fair. This is where play rough's a little bit better for me. Two. Okay, they. Oh, I threw that on bad timing, which is really bad. Allowed them to get it Incinerate through. I honestly just overtapped. I wasn't trying to do that, but it's rough. Yeah, that'd be a crazy shield. They get debuff too, which is really good. Oh, I don't even get hit by the Incinerate damage. I mean, not that that was going to do much. Oh. Don't tell me we CMP catch. That would be crazy. I don't think I win this either way, but... Oh, I did! Yo, that's crazy. It's where you swap and... right when they're throwing too, so you get the move off and you waste their energy. Okay. I don't think we can win this. I need to go for one Surf first. And then we go for Thunderbolt, maybe. This might be enough, actually. I don't know. I might be a few Wonder Guns off. Oh, no. I'm way too far off. Dang. I just need to let this go, honestly. I can't really outpace this. Oh, no way! They actually went Aerial Ace? There's no way. There's no way. Hold on. Wait, this Zubros has a lot of health in the back. But that's actually crazy, though. That's their, like, one lose con. Oh, that kind of sucks, though. I think this is enough. Wait, there's no way we're winning this game. That was actually crazy. Oh my gosh. What the heck was that? Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I am not at my home right now, so I don't have my cats, but I'm at my partner's place, and this is her cat, Itachi, and he's a big boy. Anyway, we got the treats for him, so we still have some cats, and his legs are spread more wide than mine right now. Anyway, today got a Great League team, and of course, if you saw in my last video, I had a Tinkaton in it for Spring Cup, so obviously I had to give it a shot in Open Great League. But I will say, one of the pairings I think is really good with it right now is Lanturn, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I thought that thing got nerfed to the ground, but it's actually really strong, and I got a lot of positive sets running Lanturn with this team. Obviously, it's a very hard answer to Corviknight, which is probably the hardest answer to Tinkaton. The overall team I ran was a Tinkaton with a Lanturn and a Shadow Sableye as a safe swap. Shadow Sableye definitely provides us some really solid coverage, especially against Claydol, but if you run into the occasional Tinkaton into it, it's not the most useful at times. However, I still think it's very strong. Let's take a look at the footage and see how it went. Before we get into the battles, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you'd like private one-on-one coaching, scrims against me, some of my league guides and strategies ahead of time, or even tune into my live stream battles, feel free to sign up through the Patreon link down below. I get things into it here. We have a Swalot in the lead, which is not terrible for the Tinkaton, but I want to just draw any potential issues we have in the back that we can get with the Sableye, and Sableye is pretty strong into this. Going to shield the... I didn't shield the Ice Team. I think I was just worried that they might have something else in the back. We still get to the Dazzling. This is where Dazzling is really handy, especially in these mirror matchups or against the occasional Guzzlord. And boom! One-shot KO. Pretty nice. I think I still end up coming in with Tinkaton, which is kind of ironic. But that being said, they're pretty much in one Bulldoze range at this point. And Sludge is still resisted. So it wasn't really that bad of a matchup for me to begin with. They end up shielding, which means that I'm going to shield because they're probably really weak to Tinkaton back. And if they have a Grass in the back, it could definitely spell disastrous for me. So something to watch out for. Oh, and they end up catching on a Azumarill. So good catch on their end, but Lanturn's back, and Azumarill's not as safe as it used to be. I'm running the Water Gun variant. I definitely would not recommend running Spark variant just because in this meta there's still way too much Claydol and a lot of Cordelia as well. Water Gun's better into that matchup too, but especially Claydol, you need it. Otherwise, you're way too weak to Claydol. So Play Rough is going to do a good chunk of damage, but I left with the move. Got the move ready here. And Azumarill honestly probably can't even take this out very easily. It's all resisted attacks at this point. And I'm running Play Rough. So I think in Spring Cup I had Heavy Slam and Bulldoze. But I do think in Open Great League, Play Rough is much better. There's not a lot of reasons to run Heavy Slam, I guess. The best reason is probably Cordelia. But you're still winning that matchup, right? So I think that the Play Rough is just much better for some neutral damage. Especially like, you know, if you need to land a move against, I don't know, like Claydol, it's just going to be a better move to land, stuff like that. So, and the occasional Sableye as well, too. It's going to be very nice to have, or even fighters. It's good to have. All right, Gastrodon is pretty disastrous for this team, but my opponent just lets it go completely, which is good. Sableye is the only thing that has any remote play into it, but they kind of just let it go, and then I win switch. We Water Gun down. A lot of teams are, what I noticed, are very weak to Lanturn in the back as well because they're not really anticipating the water electric typing, right? Which is what's really going to hold them back a lot. And then this Primeape is going to just throw the Rage Fist. I think I go for the Bulldoze. It's unlikely they don't shield, and even if they don't shield, I could probably just Fairy Wind and Water Gun down. And yeah, I'm going to shield this point too because they're pretty much closing in on Water Gun range, and this is the only thing that's really going to be threatening anything in the back for me, for my Lanturn. Yeah, we Water Gun down. Good games right there. All right, Claydol lead. I'm sure you're wondering how I play this out, so let's take a look here. It's definitely a very tough one. You obviously swap right out of it, but Talonflame is not too bad. It is not also an answer to the Tinkaton. If they have Flame Charge, this makes the matchup a lot worse because incinerate damage is way too much. And they do have Flame Charge, so not ideal. But that being said, we could hopefully force the energy, which they do. I think they could have probably incinerated down from there. Maybe they didn't feel confident on it. Either way, I'm going to start Water Gunning down. And a lot of the Claydol aren't even running Scorching Sand, so it's actually totally fine to not even shield their moves. I probably have to at this point though, but it's going to be a Glycopod. I'll just worry about a catch here, but once we land this Thunderbolt, we're definitely in business. And yeah, I'm going to shield this up just so I could get that necessary damage off on the Claydol. As long as I get one Surf off, I'm in a pretty okay spot. Again, most of them aren't running even Scorching Sand, so even the Tinkaton is fine into this. This person actually is running Scorching Sand, which is kind of nuts. But that being said, I'm not debuffed at least, and Play Rough would have been enough anyway, so they can't must slap me down. Tinkaton is pretty bulky, and if you watch my previous video, then you'll know that mine is just Hatch IVs, very bad IVs, but it still does the job. It's about as tanky as a Lapras or superior for context. Very high defense as well too, and the Steel typing, of course, it helps it a ton. Against Lapras, I usually just tank a move and then swap over. Once they're in foul play range, it's not too bad. And they come in with a Shadow Jumpluff. And it's not the worst matchup, for sure. And honestly, even for Lanturn, this not even that bad. But I'd much rather have the Tinkaton on it or the Sableye. And they just no-shield for some reason. So I'm just going to Shadow Call down. It's going to be a good time for me. Most Lapras aren't running Skull Bash, too. So the Lanturn walls that off. And I probably get to move as well. Yeah, I'm just going to let this go, because they get to move, and they shield, that's fine, because then I have switch advantage, I have the Lanturn for it as well, and yeah, that's going to put us in a pretty good position right here. Oh, they have this. Okay, well, we just throw the Bulldoze, and I think I just Water Gun down, probably. I'll probably tank a move. I'm doing a lot of damage just with the Fairy Wind, which is nice. But yeah, getting those defense drops can be really crucial in some of these matchups. But I do think you definitely need Bulldoze. If you don't want to run Play Rough, that's fine. I would replace Play Rough with Heavy Slam, but I would never replace Bulldoze in this meta just because it's so solid, right? Especially against the Dark Poisons. We haven't seen a lot of those yet, but we do see a couple poisons here or there, like this Galarian Weezing. And especially for this team, you can't really swap to Sableye, right? And the Lanturn's not amazing into this either, so this Bulldoze coverage is really, really nice. Heavy Slam's still neutral, I guess. Oh, wait, no. Heavy Slam. No, Heavy Slam is super effective, I guess. So, I guess in this specific matchup, it's fine. But against actual, like, poisons, like, Swalot or dark poisons like Drapion, it's pretty rough without it. That being said, I'm just going to show the potential overheat. They did go for it, which is quite nice. And I think I remember this, if I remember this matchup correctly. Oh, no, I go for a catch. I know in one matchup I did not realize the counts on the Weezing, but we do end up catching the move, which is quite nice. I lose Short Track priority. It is what it is, but there's no way I get to the Dazzling Gleam either way. But we draw this out, which is good. And then I can go straight Play Rough. And they don't have energy on the Weezing, so extra good. I'm going to overfarm a bit here, just so I have something to throw at the Weezing if they decide to come back in with it. And they do, which is quite good for me because I get the Bulldoze off. Super effective damage. If they have a Grass in back, I'm kind of in trouble. But it's a Pangoro. And I end up catching a move, which is nice. I think they went Night Slash right away. I guess I was probably in Night Slash range. But yeah, at this point too, Lanturn, super bulky. And it's still just as good as before in some ways. And I think the big part is it just catches a lot of people off guard. So we do go 5-1 in that first set. I have 2 back-to-back sets. But like I said, this team was really solid for me. I've gone positive in pretty much every single set I've played in with this team. So until people start hard countering Lanturn, well, I mean, there's a lot of ways to counter Lanturn, but expecting it in the back, you probably could be in a good spot. A lot of times the grass comes in with the Sableye comes in as well too, so that's an aspect of it. All right, and in comes a Drifblim, and this is kind of an interesting matchup. I figure I could probably take the Ice Beam, Icy Wind. Yeah, I do. Oh, where are you trying to go, Dodge? All right, I guess we summoned this more tuna out for him because he's starting to panic. All right, hey, here you go. All right, so they end up flipping Switch Advantage, but they had to spend 2 shields. That's kind of nuts. I show the potential Shadow Ball, but it's probably Icy Wind. Oh, they went Shadow Ball. Okay. Well, good call by me, I guess. All right, let's see what they come in and try to throw the Crunch. I catch a Resisted Crunch. That's nice. And I have play into the Drapion still. Oh, and Zumro. Yeah. And we're chilling at this point because the Lanturn has play into the Drapion, and of course it beats the Zumro as well. And I have a Shield, and I get another Play Rough off. I'm telling you, this team is strong. It's very, very strong. There's been a few times I've been hard counter and I just lose, but overall, I think it's quite strong still. And I'm going to get the Thunderbolt off just to ensure I get the KO. And I still have a shield. Like, there's just no way, right? All right. Next game here, it's going to be a Jumpluff. I do lose at least one of these games, so we'll see kind of how I end up throwing these games. Oh, okay, yeah, this is an interesting one. So, I can't really swap straight away into the Blastoise with anything, because it just, up energy is pretty annoying, and they all pretty much run Skull Bash, so the Lantern's not even great into it, because I'm doing resisted water gun damage as well, and, you know, Surf does nothing to it. And I try to catch a move here, but I end up catching a Skull Bash, which really threw me off. Because I would have expected them to throw a Hydro Cannon there. And they go for the shield. And so this is pretty awkward. They swap back over, though, to the Jumpluff. I'm trying to wait out the timer a bit so I can save the energy. But there's just no possible way. Now we at least come in with the Ticketon. So not terrible. I still have a shield advantage. I just don't know what they have in the back at this point. But we get the matchup we want at least. So that's always nice. But, you know, Jumpluff, pretty bulky Pokemon, so it's pretty annoying to still deal with. And they go for the combo play. Can't really afford to shield here. So I think I come in, I come in Sableye. Definitely the right play. And we're going to try to farm up as much energy as I can, because I don't know what they have in the back yet. I go for the foul play. Does this take it out? I don't remember. It does. Okay. Not in a terrible spot. Let's see what they have in the back. In comes a Jumpluff. They throw Aerial Ace, which kind of threw me off. I was like, okay, Aerial Ace is kind of fine, right? And then in comes a Drapion. This is actually kind of bad because that chip damage was actually quite nice for them. And then because of that, they are now in a pretty good position. Oh my gosh, Touch, what are you doing? And yeah, I just can't get to move in time. I had to try to catch an Aqua Tail, but I'm pretty sure they get to double anyway, so it doesn't really even matter. But okay. Oh, he's done. I think he's done with his snack, so he's done with me. Right? You know, different cat, same behaviors. Anyway, here we go. So we have Shadow Magnezone. They no-shield the Bulldoze, which is kind of crazy because they must not know it has Bulldoze. I don't know, because that wasn't even at Heavy Slam energy, so it couldn't have been anything else to my knowledge. But maybe they thought of something else. I don't know. Maybe they thought they could take it better. Sometimes the games just go by that quick, you know, and it is what it is. All right. And we got ourselves a Feraligatr. This lead is definitely a little bit on the tougher end, but they don't shield, which is fine. Even if they do shield, my goal was to still swap over to the Sableye because I have a shield advantage, if that was the case. They come in with a Ferret. And me personally, I don't think Ferret's very good. I mean, it has some solid matchups against Sableye and Claydol, but like even against a Sableye, it has a shield usually to win the zeros. So not bad at all for me. I'm just going to hard pivot over to my Teen Tongue because if this thing gets a lot of energy, it is pretty annoying for me. So I'm just going to hope that I can survive a move here. And I do. Luckily, I do. It's just a Swift. If I can get a debuff, that's great. I grab a shield actually, which is also fine with me. The Trailblaze is obviously going to be pretty strong into my Lanturn, and it's going to be boosted as well. So I have to respect that. Even a Swift will do a decent chunk of damage. And they went Trailblaze, which makes sense because they don't get another move. We have a bunch of energy. In comes a Medicham. That's kind of wild too. Alright, we get the full farm down, which is quite nice. And I'm just going to do as much chip damage as I can. Double Surf's probably much better than a Thunderbolt. Well, now I can go Thunderbolt actually. In those situations, I typically like to throw the lower engine move unless there's like some debuff chance on the other move. Just because sometimes you don't need like 2 of the hard-hitting moves, right? Or sometimes you don't need the hard-hitting move at all. We can Shadow Claw down though. It's just a Psycho Cut Medicham, so definitely not going to be enough. And yeah, let's keep the wins coming. Shadow Sableye. This is a, you know, fantastic lead. And then they try to catch, not going to be able to. And I'm sure they weren't expecting a Lanturn, but Lanturn's back. And you know, without Spark, this matchup is definitely not as fun for the Lanturn, but overall, you're in a pretty commanding position. Because at this point, I'm not going to shield, and as long as they don't shield, I don't shield, right? If they shield, I shield. They can't bubble me down from this range. Like, look at their health, right? I think they know it too, so they're very unlikely to shield that. And they're taking a lot of damage on this Sableye too. They haven't thrown a move yet. I'm going to just throw the Bulldoze. Oh, and they catch, actually, on their Lone Sand Slash. That's perfect, actually, because that's kind of what the move I need to throw anyway. And I kind of need to soften enough for the Sableye on top of it. So that's pretty nice. I'm not going to shield because it's just a Ice Punch, which is a little bit less damage than Drill Run. I still get to move at the same time, so this is quite nice for me because as long as I shield the Drill Run on the Sand Slash, I'm fine. Like, I get denied a move, I think, there, but it's not the end of the world. There's nothing they can throw that's not resisted from the Sableye unless they have Shadow Sneak, which pretty much no Sableye are running in Open Great League right now, or really ever. And we're going to let the first move go. In case they have some type of move, they could potentially, I don't know, bait me with it. I don't actually think Bolt is enough, but I think my thought was, oh, I kind of trolled there. I think what I was thinking is I didn't want to reveal my other move. I don't know, but I should have just gone for the Play Rough. Anyway, we barely hang on to survive it, so definitely a little bit risky. If I didn't get the debuff on it either, I'd probably lose that game, so I almost threw that game, but we go 4-1 this set, 5-0 in the first set, 9-1 overall, and positive sets all the way throughout in my other sets. I'm telling you, Lanturn is the secret sauce right now. You would not believe it, but that's what I had to show you all. Anyway, best of luck in your battles as well. I showed some Claydol leads, and even that's like beatable, right? So if you run into a Gastrodon lead, that's probably by far the biggest core breaker for this team. It is what it is. You know, I'd probably just still swap out to the Sableye and see what I could do there, but that's a very tough one to come from. You can't really swap to Lanturn at that point. Your only best bet is to chip it enough and hope that your Lanturn or your Tinkaton can sweep in the back. Let me know how it goes if you end up running the team, and if you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll catch you all next time.